going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker in the Thoughts, and our broadcast coming to you live from gloomy and not sunny at all Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, we're live, and I hope all the boys, girls, MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. I am in Michigan. My mom wants to know why there are so many hit pieces on you this week. It's because Democrats are more worried about people like myself that represent people like you and our voices being heard than, Donald Trump continuing to propagandize. Their priorities are not about combating Trump. Their priorities are very clearly about aligning with MAGA, as a matter of fact, to consistently attack their left flank. And that's precisely what they're doing. I think it's pretty clear why. That's why I always say, look at my naysayers, look at their profiles, look at their background, and key search the word Gaza, Israel, genocide, and you will know exactly why this is happening. They're worried about prominent critics of Israel gaining a foothold in American discourse. They don't want prominent critics of Israel to be legitimized. They think, foolishly, that people did not independently arrive at their conclusions about Israel after 2.5 years of genocide, but instead they got hypnotized by the likes of someone like myself. And they can't attack the overwhelming majority of the population that is demanding a change in our relationship with Israel, especially at a time when it's very clear that we're waging this incredibly costly and incredibly bloody war at the behest of Israel. They can't, criticize the overwhelming majority of the public. So they just seek out outspoken critics of Israel to try and humiliate them, to try and bully them into submission. And it hasn't worked, but that hasn't stopped them. They're going to keep writing these fucking articles. I think it's backfiring on them regardless. But at the end of the day, the question remains, what's worse, a genocide or a vulgar critic of genocide, vulgarity being deployed while criticizing said genocide? They're not attacking me necessarily. They're attacking everyone that has the same attitude, everyone that shares the same resentment. To use a Trumpian term, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just in the way. They have not ceased in their ridiculous attacks. Bulwark. Hassan Piker's drawn to political violence, whether it's Hamas rapists, Mangione shooting a defenseless and innocent healthcare executive, or Putin pursuing his imperial expansion, sounds awfully familiar. This whole piece is unhinged, penned by a former writer for the National Review, former staffer in the Reagan administration, cheerleader of the Iraq War, who wrote in 2008 for the Jewish Policy Center a missive demanding that the U.S. not leave Iraq but take Vienna, saying if we withdrew, the Islamists from Bali to London to Gaza to Islamabad would have felt a rush of adrenaline. Our friends would have shrunk from us to make their separate deals. Buoyed by victory against the full might of American arms in Iraq, the Islamists would doubtless have begun a new campaign of terror throughout the world, who in this very piece is justifying a war with Iran. In late October 2023, she justified the genocide by saying, after a few days of this horror, even people of goodwill will begin to forget their sympathy for Israel and demand that the killing stop. What good does it do, they will ask. Aren't both sides equally at fault? But both sides are not equally at fault here. Gaza is not occupied, but even if it were, it would not justify Hamas's crimes against humanity. For anyone that's bloodthirsty to feel they have the right to tut-tut about decency is truly beyond the pale. This person is the epitome of the rot infesting every square inch of the earth. These are straight up rapacious, monstrous, bloodthirsty war criminals and defenders of ongoing war crimes writing these sorts of articles about how dangerous I am for American public discourse. They will use choice quotes. They will misunderstand the point I'm making. One of the classic ones is something that even Ross Douthat did, which I heard this person did as well. They said, you think Luigi was an adventurer? No, I said Luigi was engaging in adventurism, which is a negative term. It's not a positive term. It's a unproductive violence that doesn't yield positive outcomes. It's something that Marxists are against. We believe in organized movements. Now, of course, it's a lot of stuff like that, and people will continue these attacks. So I ask you, what do you think is worse? Someone who's an outspoken critic of Israel or someone who's a defender of Israel? What do you think is worse? Someone who uses vulgar language at times because he's obviously passionate. I'm obviously passionate about the things that I'm covering and have to carry the weight of all these atrocities that I see day in, day out, just as you do, channeling your frustrations as well. Or someone who's very civil in their language, but civilly defending unjustifiable systems that are objectively violent and even Israel's genocide. I think many Americans, when faced with those two options, will realize that they probably have more sympathies for someone like myself. But I will say once again, I welcome their hatred. I'm fine. I have been on the receiving end of these smears, these vicious smears, at a time when the majority was not on my side. Okay, this community has been there through it all. So if I was eating this in the beginning of Israel's genocide, when the overwhelming majority of the American public were totally not ready to hear someone say Palestinians have a right to live free of the Israeli occupation, what makes you think I feel any type of shame or any fear right now when it has become the majority position? All of this stuff, all of these hit pieces are simply ineffective. They have as much emphasis and as much power as we give it. They have as much emphasis and as much power as Democratic electeds give it. If they choose to go, what are we talking about? Shut up. It's done. This Israel stuff is over. Stop fucking complaining. Stop lying about critics of Israel being anti-Semitic. Let's move in a more productive direction in our discourse, in our policy making, in our strategies, especially at a time when America and Israel are waging this bloody war against Iran. Then they have no motion. They will just continuously yell to an increasingly shrinking audience. They are objectively hysterical. And on top of that, they're pretty violent. Disturbing. Dem doubles down after appearance with anti-Semitic streamer. He's not just anti-Israel, he's anti-American. He tries to justify the September 11 attacks. Remember, not one single Democrat is center Democrat. They're all far-left socialists. What the Democrats fail to understand is the hypocrisy of their actions. So is Mamdani's wife. Wow. If anyone think the Democrats care about America, I think, again, you are losing your mind. It's kind of crazy that the Fox News guys have the Fox News comments have actually whipped back into submission, like total cattle status. Back in the day, they used to watch stuff like this and be like, well, you know, we don't fuck with Israel either. Why should we be Israel first? Now they're like, yeah, that's right. If you hate Israel, you hate me and you hate America.
California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna defending his podcast appearance with controversial internet personality and anti-Israel commentator Hasan Piker, who has tried to justify the deadly October 7th attacks. Listen.
I have not done that. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sure.
Do you have any regrets about appearing on his show?
None, and I would go again. But I, of course, condemn those comments. The lesson of the last election is we've got to be out there. We've got to engage. It's a complex, messy, multiracial democracy. I will defend my views, but the people who are saying don't engage will cost us future elections.
Joining us now is senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, good morning.
What I find really strange is that the exact same forces that we saw with like the apolitical commentary sphere and the exact same mania they're doing again, but this time in the professional level. This time, you know, Fox News is doing cancel culture. This time there's an allegiance between like some of the most right-wing Trumpian forces and some of these people in the Democratic Party. There's a lot of liberals that are self-identifying liberals that are influencers on Twitter that are totally on board with this classic, very clear right-wing smear campaign. And I find that very strange. Does this not cause you a little bit of concern? Do you not look at this and go, wait a minute, I hate MAGA, I hate Donald Trump, but these guys are saying the same things I'm saying. Does that not cause you any concern at all? You don't even think about that at all? I understand why Republicans do it. I hate them. But if you're a liberal and you're anti-Trump, if you are actively trying to unseat Republicans, if you want to fight against fascism in this country, then what the fuck are you doing fighting against me? Right now, the crisis that we are facing is absolute devastation. Lock the fuck in. This is all I'm saying to the liberals. Like, if you spend all of your days attacking me as a prominent critic of Israel, as a prominent critic of Trump, your focus is not on the real vectors of harm. Your focus is on keeping your fucking careers in the party.
Tell us a little bit more about Hasan Piker, what he said in the past, so people at home can make their own determination on if this congressman should have been on this podcast.
Yeah, it's always the same shit. They're doing the liberal-ass cancel culture, like quote mining, clips out of context, making it seem like I'm against convictions that I've fought for a decade at this point. It's classic.
Thanks, Carly. I mean, I wrote it on X. I'll say it here on national television. This is pathetic. This is absolutely pathetic from Congressman Ro Khanna. First, to answer your question, he made the argument that joining Hasan Piker on his podcast is equivalent to joining Joe Rogan. At last check, Rogan, unlike Hasan Piker, didn't call Jews inbreds. It is Piker who said that America...
I didn't do that. But also, Joe Rogan has said way more heinous shit about Jews. What the fuck?
America deserved 9/11. Nearly 3,000 people died on that day. This is the same Hasan Piker who said it doesn't matter to him if rapes occurred during the October 7th attacks, 2023. This is a guy who's called his critics, quote, rabid ultra-Zionist pigs. He also called on Republicans to kill Senator Rick Scott. And Ro Khanna told Meet the Press yesterday, as you just played, he has no regrets going on a show like that and would happily do it again. Why? Because Piker has 2.8 million followers, mostly young men. Is Ro Khanna and Democrats...
I think this kind of smarmy whining is unironically exactly what annoyed a lot of like independents. It gets like increasingly more unhinged. The quotes get like distributed and then changed every single time, and then they just like add more stuff to it. But again, at the end of the day, the president is Donald Trump. You guys defend Donald Trump with regular frequency. Donald Trump is the president. He's not a Twitch streamer. If you defend the president saying unhinged things like yesterday, saying he is going to he said open the fucking straight or else I'm going to do terrorism to you, you know, may Allah awaken the people. Whatever the fuck he said, right? And you defend that, and that's defensible. You can't turn around and be like, but this Twitch streamer, he's vulgar. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And I think a lot of people in the margins will see that because this is just whiny. It's totally fucking whiny, nonsensical bullshit.
Really that desperate for votes that they'll cater to the anti-Semitic wing of the Democratic Party, which is a real thing, and it's a disturbing epidemic that is going on the far left in the year 2026. But Khanna said, hey, I'll be happy to go back. You don't give somebody like Hasan Piker this kind of attention, this kind of platform. It only rewards the kind of rhetoric that I just described. And I thought that he was smarter than this. I thought he was more towards the center. He's clearly...
It's so funny that these guys literally also absolutely fucking hate Democrats. Why should any Democrat listen to you? I mean, there's clearly plenty who do, unfortunately. There's clearly plenty in the Democratic media side that are leaning into these like smears and leaning into this like hit piece laden cancel culture campaign. But why should the average Democrat listen to you? You're fucking Fox News. So once again, I welcome this. I don't have a problem with this at all. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Keep it up.
Proving that he is not.
Joe, he literally says, I'm doing this for the votes, so this doesn't cost us future elections. Yeah. It does beg the question, and we can't answer it because we're running out of time here. You're going to gain some votes, maybe, but aren't you going to lose a lot of people who, I don't know, fought 9/11?
You're Fox News. Don't you love that? You don't want a Democrat to win. I don't understand what this argument is. Again, you don't want Democrats to win. So why are you giving unsolicited advice to a Democratic congressperson? It's so stupid.
11 was a bad thing. Yeah. You know, right?
Plus your integrity.
Plus your integrity.
Yeah. All right, Joe, thank you so much for joining us on this.
I mean, I think what they're trying to do is like get me killed by a Republican, probably. Like that's what it is, right? Like they're trying to get some Republican to take matters in their own hands and like assassinate me or some shit. Have you ever had anyone on your show that has sold swastika t-shirts? Because Joe Rogan definitely did. Yeah, I have not, and I never will.